Thank you for joining me. My name is Simone and welcome back to Simone Says. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new videos. I typically post videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Now, y'all, I have some exciting news. I am so excited. I have decided to go back to school. Now, I graduated with my bachelor's in 2015. It is 2019. Starting to think that it's time that maybe I expand my knowledge. If you don't know, I work full-time as a marketing manager, and I really would love to take my career to the next level. So I started thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? It's time. So I have decided to go back to school this fall 2019 now, to get my MBA. And so I really want to document my journey because although I just decided, actually I didn't just decide, I decided to go back to school maybe around October of last year. And so I've been taking the necessary steps to re-enroll and entrance exams and all of that sort of stuff. But I wanted to document my journey with you guys because already, I haven't done too much of my requirements just yet. As far as the entrance exams and actually applying, but it is already kind of an overwhelming experience. And so I wanted to document my journey. Maybe it could help you if you're thinking about going to school, just to kind of give you the raw and the real of what I'm having to deal with. So one of the first things that I would recommend you do if you do decide to go back to school is to start thinking about the time frame. Now, it's real easy to say, hey, I want to go back to school, but you seriously need a start date in your mind, a realistic start date in your mind of when you want to go back to school, because there's so many things that you need to do to prepare for that application and to prepare for those classes. So I recommend starting there. Like I said, I thought about going to school in October of last year, and right now I'm actually studying for the GMAT. So that's another thing that I would recommend. By the way, if you're unfamiliar, there's two entrance exams that most colleges take. One of them is the GMAT, which is typically for your MBA if you're trying to get into a business program. For everything else, typically it's the GRE. So I think that's the acronym for Graduate Readiness Exam. And then the other one, the GMAT, is Graduate Management Administration. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. It might be a good idea for me to know what those acronyms are. But yeah, that's another thing I would recommend doing. Figuring out your timeline of when you want to go back to school and making sure it's a realistic timeline. I would recommend giving yourself a good year to prepare because it's a lot. And the next thing would be to determine what you want to go back to school for. Now, I automatically knew that I wanted to get an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, just for my career path, because ultimately I would like to be a marketing director or VP of marketing, those C-suite level positions related to marketing. So the MBA just fit perfectly for me. But if you're not sure, take your time, because you don't want to start a degree track and then have to switch, because it's not as easy as undergrad was. So you want to make sure that you know what you want to go to school for. Then I would look into schools that you want to go to. Now, what I did, I just Googled top MBA online programs, because for me, I can't go in a classroom setting with my work schedule. Online is my preference. And so you can Google and they'll provide you with lists that show the requirements to get in, the application process, the costs, all of that stuff are just different things that you should think about before taking that plunge. And then just looking at the requirements for that school. Now, me in particular, the school that I want to go to requires 2 letters of recommendation from past supervisors or professors. a personal statement. So they gave me a prompt and I have to write on that, basically saying why I'm a good candidate for the program and providing examples with my educational and professional background. Of course, you need your transcripts. I also have to take the GMAT or GRE. Now, for the business program, they prefer you take the GMAT. And in almost all of the colleges that I looked at, it says they'll accept your GRE, but they prefer you to take the GMAT because it's more specific for business track and just having those skills tested and preparing you for the coursework that you're about to endure. So yeah, those are the only requirements that I can think of right now. I said letter of recommendation, GMAT, transcripts. Hope I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, of course, that application fee. But yeah, and so it's also a good idea to have a backup school too. I mean, we all probably have that dream school we want to go to, but let's be real. The possibilities of getting in can be iffy depending on what that school is, so it's always good to have a backup plan in place. So if you don't get into one school, you can try again to get into that school. Now, I'm not telling you not to do that, but if it's not that big of a deal to you, it's always good to have that backup plan in place. So yeah, right now I'm spending a lot of time studying for the GMAT. Y'all, the GMAT is no joke. Like, I took a practice test and yeah, it made me feel dumber than a sack of rock. Like, it made me feel stupid. And so it got me concerned. And I am dedicating an hour a day to studying for this GMAT because I need to get at least a 600. Now, I don't know about the GRE, but for GMAT, the score ranges from 200 to 800, with 800 being the highest. And with the school that I want to get into, I need to get at least a 550. They look for high 500s. The average score for a GMAT is about a 550, so that's average. Hopefully I could pull that off, because with the practice test that I took, it's giving me a rough score of about a 500, a 490, so I've got some work to do. Now, if you are looking, or if you're taking a program that requires you to take the GMAT, you're in luck, because at the bottom of your screen, I am providing you with all of the resources that I am using to prepare for this test. Now, if you are going back to school and you must take the GMAT, please take it seriously and please give yourself enough time to study, because the test is hard. And when I say the test is hard, I'm not being dramatic. Like, even on the test is an adaptive test. And what I mean by that is it's on a computer and it gives you a question. And if you answer that question correctly, the next question that it gives you is harder than that. Now, let's say you got one question right. The next question you get is going to be harder. You get that one right, the next question you get is going to be harder. Let's say you get that one wrong. Well, the next question they give you is going to be easier, because the GMAT tests the difficulty level of the questions that you are most comfortable with, and that difficulty level turns out to be your score. So when I say the test is hard, they try to make it hard on purpose. Like, when you're doing good, that's when it starts feeding you the hard questions and it's really challenging you. So please take it seriously. Take as many practice tests as you can. I have all of the resources that I'm listing at the bottom in the description for this video are free, so please take advantage of it, okay? The only thing that is not free is the app that I noted at the bottom. I paid $9.99 for it, but that app is friggin' amazing. It's called Ready for GMAT, and I love it. So if you can, I would give it a try. I know they have like a free option for it where you can take maybe 4 quick little quizzes on it, and then they kind of lock you out of everything else, but the $9.99 is worth it. Now, this is the first video that I'm doing. I plan on doing many more on this subject. Again, I really want to share with you guys my experience and what I'm going through now and all of that. and I'm going to be providing you with more free resources to prepare and more tips and tricks, and hopefully at the end of this video I will feature my acceptance into the school and with a great GMAT. Let's hope for that, okay? Because if not, it's gonna be another type of video. Y'all are gonna see me get out of character. I'm not kidding, because the GMAT, that's another thing. It's $250. Like, that's flat rate wherever you live, no matter where you live, $250. So yeah, take it seriously. You don't want to have to take it again. Don't spend $500 taking a damn GMAT. Like, come on. Let's just study, let's be studious, and let's get it going. Now, outside of the GMAT, I am thrilled to go back to school. I am just looking forward to that piece of paper, an increased salary, better position. Let's get it. Yes. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel. You do not want to miss these videos, especially if you are in my position and you are in the process of going back to school, particularly for a business track or any sort of track that requires the GMAT, because I am going to give you a lot of tips, a lot of free resources, and a lot of feedback, which I think will all be helpful for you. All right, so again, please don't forget to subscribe. I post content Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you next time. Bye.